I think we've all been dealing with so much chaos and weirdness in this massive awakening that we're all going through that we don't step back and really look at what are we doing and how are we actually feeling. Because I know for me, my life has completely shifted in the last year, and it's due to an awakening. I've had several awakenings in the last since COVID, but like this last one this last year was just immense. I feel like I catapulted in so many ways. I've completely changed my thought pattern. I've completely changed the way that I view the world. I don't even view time in the same way. Like very elemental things that I held on for the majority of my life, I now have discarded and completely adopted new ways of thinking. And what that has done has completely changed my outer world. So, like, all my old friends that I had for years have fallen off the map. I've reacquainted with some older friends that have known me since childhood. I've healed a lot of my inner child wounds. I'm feeling calls to move to different geographical areas that most match with like what I'm feeling right now and who I am. I got married in the last year to my soulmate. I'm in a divine union, and it's a relationship that I never thought I would have and that I feel so calm and comfortable in. Like, for the first time in my life, I feel safe. There are just so many ways that my life has changed dramatically and for the good and for the better. However, I am going to say that when I talk about stepping back and really looking at how you're doing right now and not getting distracted by all the upheaval in the world and like trying to stay focused on your manifestations and stay focused on keeping a high vibe frequency of love and hope and creation and all those things, we don't look at like how are we really doing. And I'm going to say right now that like I'm just really tired. Like, my body feels tired. I feel like I'm going through these ups and downs of like the Schumann resonance blasting off and me like getting a huge download and then having to rest for like 2 weeks because I'm, marinating in what I learned from that big awakening and like trying to apply it to my life. I feel like I'm wanting to create all the time because I'm feeling more and more one with like source consciousness. And so I have all these ideas and like I want to create and I want to get things out into the world to like help heal the collective and like, help other people awaken. But at the same time, I'm being called to rest. I'm being called to be okay in the life I have now. And like I have all these dreams and I want to manifest things and I want to see my outer world more reflect the amazing awakening and healing that's happening inside. And I get impatient that it's not happening right away. And so there's this constant balancing act dance between wanting to manifest and wanting to see like miraculous things happen, but at the same time not wanting to be in the business of waiting or trying to make things happen, but like just being in gratitude and appreciating all of the abundance that I have around me. My social dynamics have changed so much. Like, I feel like I've really called in a soul tribe, and like my social group is like small, but it is so fiercely loyal and like safe. And I went from like always having a lot of friends and being like that Gemini bouncing back and forth between different friend groups and like, having friends in my life that maybe weren't like necessarily like there for me or like good for me, but I just like to have a lot of people around me, to like a small group where I know I can trust these people and they feel good. Like, I feel good in my body and regulated around them. However, like, I'm also dealing with like the loss of a lot of people and like wondering, was it my fault? Like, could I have done better? Like, ruminating sometimes over those losses and coping with those losses and knowing in my heart of hearts that like they didn't reflect my internal world anymore, and I had outgrown a lot of that, and I started to develop boundaries and like have higher expectations for myself. So like, actually it's good that I can trust all the people around me, but also dealing with the severe loss of, a lot of people. And it can feel really mentally exhausting at times trying to like process an awakening, deal with the loss from this new life that you're living, trying to balance the manifesting but also the gratitude, and just trying to always be aware of like your thought process. And am I like in my, am I in a good headspace? Are my thoughts serving me? And am I doing too much to try to cultivate a high frequency? Am I doing too little? How much is like feeling human emotions and allowing that to like, be a normal part of life? And I'm, a spirit having a human experience. So it's okay to feel intense emotions at times and move through them, but also not get stuck in them. Like, it's all really exhausting. And so I just wanted to put this out there for people that have gone through a spiritual awakening, to let you know that, like, you're not alone. It can be very exhausting at times. And, like, just, you're doing such a good job. We're trying to, like, live this human experience on, like, a higher frequency and on a higher timeline, and it can feel really exhausting at times. And it's okay sometimes to just give yourself credit for the growth that you've had and all that you're dealing with, and just extend a little bit of love to yourself.